Welcome, people. Back from the dead would be TBI and all of our shenanigans.
Monster Reborn.
Along with the other videos we'll be seeing, this will be a deck profile of a Dragon World deck, Thunder Empire, because it seems to be one of the only few ones relevant for the world right now. So, obviously, nice and tasty old style Dragon World flag, one of the first secret flags, if I remember correctly. Our buddy would be a Demon Lord Dragon Bot's got that nice tasty SP. I think we'll go over it when we get to the card. So let's start with our size heroes. We have Tiny Flame Dragon Linear. It's basically a better Boomerang Dragon, but in return for having 2 crit, you can only call it to the center, so you can't amass a whole army of these things, like the shenanigans you could with original Boomerang. Still remember when Joey would do that?
No.
So it's a 2/2/1. Just call it to the center and it pops right back after the attack. Next, size 1s, we have Fanning. It's a 2/3/1, which is a nice 3 crit for 1 gauge, and when it's out on the field, you can't rest. Your opponent cannot rest or return Thunder Empire monsters to your hand. Whoops, Thunder Empire cards, even better. Rest or return Thunder Empire cards. So it's nice to have a 3 crit. It's also nice to, not be rested or returned. It's pretty good that when the only thing that can get around it is just destroying things, because you'll obviously have my bots out. Next we have, speaking of bots, we have the tiny one, Bots SD. It's a 3/2/1 size 1 with the ability of you get to act and choose a size 2 or greater monster with bots in its name from your drop zone. Then you get to pay 1 gauge, switch that card for this one, and call the chosen card by paying its call cost. And after that, it gains 3k and an extra crit for the turn. So it turns your OG bots into a menace, turns unyielding bots into 4 crit with each attack. I mean, it just is good, but not a 4 of. Next, we have our staple Replenisher Pentar at 4 of. 3/2/1 with Arc Sword becomes 1000 Rapier, and when it enters the field, if you have an item with Thunder Empire, you draw a card. Not once per turn, so more draws.
It's just an item, period.
Pretty much. Oh, it's an item? No, Thunder Empire item.
Oh, it is. Oh.
Yeah, it's not that generic. Come on, bro. Stop dreaming. Next, we have 4 copies of Misfiring Demon Globes. It's a 3/1/1 size 1. 2 effects. When another Thunder Empire monster enters the field, you get to charge and draw once per turn. Combo that with Pentar specifically, it's like playing Pot of Greed. And when it attacks, you declare a card in your field, and that card gets a crit for the rest of the turn. You can give it to itself or another card in the field. Play that at 4 of because it's a staple. Next, we get to our size 2 lineup. There are many size 2s, but they're all bots, because bots is the best one. So we have 2 copies of Bearer Sin's Bots for pay 1 gauge, and it cannot be destroyed during your turn. Has double attack, and when the battle phase starts, you have 4 life or less. You call a size 1 or less from your deck by paying its call cost. That's the reason we only play 1 copy of this guy. Or we can get free draws with other cards or free crits. Pretty simple. I would change it out for what the next card is going to be, but for now it's just a generic bot that comes with its standard abilities. What we change it out for is 2 more copies after these 2 of Unyielding Rampage Dragon Bots. Pay 1 gauge, can't be destroyed by card effects, bots, yada yada. When it destroys a monster on the field, it stands again, but it has to successfully destroy. And if you have 4 life or less, its attack cannot be nullified if it's attacking alone. Like with Bots SD or certain other cards, it becomes a wreckage powerhouse. Calling this card literally ends games sometimes. Without even attacking monsters, just punch for 3 crit that you can't stop. Last but not least, we have our buddy at 4 copies, OG Demon Lord Dragon Bots. I mean, quick explanation, pay a gauge, can't be destroyed. Start of the attack phase gets double attack, or if you have 4 life or less, triple attack and plus 3000. I mean, 7/2/4. They all have 7 something 4. Unyielding's got 3 crit, and yeah. Otherwise, it's bots. You play this in the deck. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. I don't really think you're playing Thunder Empire. Now we go into spells. We have 2 copies of Bots X again. Pay 1 gauge, stand a monster with bots on your field. If you don't have Fanning, this is a good answer to resting cards, such as Snake Gaze or other things, because if they rest your Unyielding and you don't, and you obviously don't have fanning because they rested it, this is your answer to bring it back up and start fucking shit up. Offensively, it's also good for an extra attack if you can maybe get off your double or triple attack with standard bots. It's a nice extra punch to the face, or it saves your ass, depending on the situation. Next, we have a new card, 2 copies of Thunder X Attract. Pay 1 life, and you can choose one of the following 2 effects. Either pay a gauge and search for a Thunder Empire item from your deck and add it to your hand, or without paying a gauge, put a Dragon World monster or impact from your drop zone into your hand. It's so generic, it works in everything. Item searching is even better though, and in general, paying life to do stupid shit, yeah, that helps because you want to be at 4 or less. Next, we have 2 copies of Dragon Spell Hiding Bomber. This card's kind of just here. I mean, it's a good answer to some things, but right now, mostly, it doesn't answer too much. So, it's pay a gauge, can only cast on your opponent's turn, counter, return, or destroy, return to the hand, or destroy a monster with 5,000 less defense on someone's field. Then we have 2 copies of Sand Dragon Shield. I use Dragon Shield rule that you can only play if you don't have a center. And this one is counter and nullify an attack, and if you have 1 gauge or less, gain a gauge and a life. So it turns into Sun Shield if it's not Battle or a Circle. Then we have 2 copies of Name of Thunder Empire. Pay 2 life, so getting down on that life. Choose a size 1 Thunder Empire and size 2 Thunder Empire and call them both to your field by paying their call costs. It's basically continue, along with helping you out on that life stuff. Then we have 3 copies of Box X Link. I mean, this is a staple in more than Thunder Empire now. If you've attacked 3 more times this turn, counter, look at the top 3, pick 1 of them, add it to the hand, the other 2 become gauge, and you gain a life. Very simple. And with 3 attacks is very easy. Then we have Arc Dragon Shield, pay a gauge, nullify the attack, draw a card. Blue Dragon Shield, gain a gauge. Very simple. As far as items go, we play 3 copies of Arc Dragon Sword, 6/2, equip for 1 gauge, cannot be destroyed by effects, and gives all Thunder Empire monsters plus 2k power. It's a nice way to go. Yeah. Then we play 3 copies of Demon Lord Sword Dragon Royale. This is pay a life to equip, so it's a good way to go about it. If there's a card with bots in its name on your field, both this card and the bots gain 6k power, so anything that's a bot becomes 13k, and if you have 4 or less life, it gets double attack, so let's just punch them faces for 9,000 power. And last but not least, we have 3 copies of Thunder Lance X Tempest Buster. Game Ender, quickly explaining, need 5 or less light. Your opponent needs 5 or less life, you both have no center, and you've attacked 3 or more times this turn, 3 gauge, win. Just win. Because they can't be revived, all that junk. I think everybody knows it by now. And then the weird tech one-of that we thought was cool, 1 copy of the Drum Impact for OG-ness. I still haven't even read this card fully because it hasn't shown up in my hand. Put a monster on your field into the soul and pay 3 gauge. It has penetrate, and when it causes damage to your opponent, destroy everything on the field, and they cannot use counter if you're attacking the center. So, do you want to bust everything up? Play this card, attack the center, you got no problems. Like, what do you want? Just fuck everything over. That is, I'm pretty sure, a 52 card deck. I haven't done the exact math, but that would be the Thunder Empire deck.
If you guys like this video, subscribe to TBI for more Buddyfight content. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.